Hey guys, what's going on? It's Russell again. So today I'm going to do a book review, which is something I don't really do that often. I usually focus on alert services and courses. Sometimes books are pretty good though, because they're really cheap. And you can read them when you're on the train or in the car or on a flight or something. So I thought I'd do Kiana Danial's Ichimoku Secrets. It's definitely a tantalizing book, right? It's black and it has Ichimoku Secrets on it. It's definitely something that draws your eye and you think, wow, what does this woman know about this strategy that I could really benefit from? So came across this in an ad probably last year. I'll give you a quick introduction into who Kiana is and whether you think this book will be worth it or not for yourself. For me, it was definitely worth it, and I'm kind of a fan of her content now. So Kiana's about 37 at the moment, and she is primarily focused on this idea of getting women into investing and trading. It doesn't mean there's no value for men, but she definitely is kind of almost a feminist in this idea that she appeals to women. So a lot of her ads are designed that way. She has an interesting story in that she turned $500 into 60,000 trading in a pretty short period of time, and since then she's basically embraced investing in entrepreneurship to build this into millions of dollars, which is pretty cool. She's very open that entrepreneurship is her main focus and investing comes second. So the idea is that she makes money with her entrepreneurship, so probably courses and starting these services, and then reinvest that money to compound it in her investing and trading, which is pretty cool. She's very open about this, not something she tries to hide. So she used to be a forex broker on Wall Street, which is pretty interesting, and she went out on her own after she got fired. So she started off in forex. She's ventured into crypto and now stocks using this Ichimoku strategy that's pretty well known, but something I've avoided for years. It looks complex and the names are all kind of crazy Japanese names for the different lines and things. So she has a whole bunch of different products. I'll leave a link to this page in the description below so you can go and check out some of her stuff. Ichimoku Secrets itself is pretty interesting. So I got the book and started to go through it. I think I finished it yesterday pretty quickly. Part of that though is I skipped a lot of it because I'm not completely sure if I'm going to use Ichimoku in my own trading. It's something that I'm interested in and I thought it was kind of cool, but I don't know if I really need to add another indicator to the million indicators that are out there. She swears by it. It seems like it's the main thing she uses and teaches. It used to be that she only really taught this proprietary combination to her own students, which she teaches in her chat room or her course, like in her different courses. And I think it's pretty cool. Basically, the secret is that she combines Fibonacci levels and Ichimoku theory to basically get the best entries, exits, and manage your trades. So let's just go into some of the things I liked about the book. I do like the fact that in the book she gives different strategies for different risk tolerances. So every section, whether it's entries or exits, she gives high, medium, and low basically tolerance. So if you are just wanting to be a bit more conservative, obviously risk and reward are related, then you can go with the low. And it's basically just small tweaks, but it can make all the difference depending on your different portfolio goals. She tends to use it for longer term trading or investing, but it does work on all different time frames. I like how she goes through the book, she breaks it down, so she has a whole chapter on entries, a whole chapter on exits, and she basically goes through and gives you the secret sauce, which, like I said, is combining the Italian Fibonacci retracement levels with Japanese Ichimoku, and that's what she swears by. She's tested it, and that's her strategy that she's become really comfortable with. The weird thing I found in the book is that she talks about she doesn't really have any stop losses. Now, sometimes people they don't like to put in stop losses, because in their experience they found they just get stopped out, whereas if they just stay in, to me it's a weird concept as a more probably like a more short-term trader. Here's the book, by the way. So it starts off with a bunch of good testimonials, and I do agree with most of them after completing the book. So here's the contents. So she starts off with an overview of Ichimoku. I would say it's pretty good. She does a good explanation of the different time frames, the different lines. The lines and stuff are not straightforward to me. To be honest, I don't think you really have to understand them fully. The basic idea of Ichimoku theory is you have this cloud which dictates basically direction of the stock. So if the stock is trending above the Ichimoku cloud, it's bullish, and below it's bearish. You have these other Japanese names like Kijun line and things. Kijun, I don't know how you'd say that, where they act pretty much as moving averages. So a lot of the technicals that you're probably familiar with, like crossovers, golden crosses, all this kind of stuff, all hold true with Ichimoku theory. I would recommend checking out some other videos on YouTube if you're not familiar with this. It's kind of interesting. For example, I'll put a link to this video, how to master the Ichimoku cloud. This did just as good a job as Kiana does in her book. This is, I think, the rest of the book is where the meat is. So you can find out Ichimoku pretty easily online. But proprietary strategies that she's tested is why you buy these things, right? It's why you buy courses by people that are successful, why you buy books. So she goes into all this different entry signals, exit signals, different time frames, all based on her experience and testing over the years. The real meat in the book is the Fibonacci combo, where she goes into her strategy of combining the Fibonacci with the Ichimoku, which is pretty cool. I think for me that was the most interesting part of the book. It's really that combined with the different trade and risk tolerances that she preaches. A lot of these strategies just say, okay, buy when the stock breaks through this resistance line, which is cool, but often like you can tailor with her strategies, you can tailor your risk tolerance depending on what you want to do. So if you want higher risk and higher reward, you can follow one set of rules, and obviously for medium and low risk it's different sets of rules. So the end of the book is really a whole bunch of strategies that, well, not strategies, like actual real life examples of her and her students over the years. It's pretty cool to see how things turned out with their different trades. But really, it's not that great because you can't tell what her win-loss rate actually is, because she's putting in primarily the ones that actually worked out. So, while it's great to see examples of real stuff that she's alerted or talked to her students about, it's not exactly like a smoking gun of like how well the strategy actually works. Obviously, it doesn't have a 100% success rate, but she really doesn't talk about what the success rate really is over the years. Overall, I think it's a decent book. It's sort of like $30 on Amazon or something, and it does cut through a lot of the noise and give you a workable investment strategy. Not really for me. I'm probably not going to start incorporating it in everything, just because I've got my strategies that work, and I really don't need to add another series of indicators and ideas to the whole thing. So anyway, that's my overview of Kiana Danial's Ichimoku Secrets. Definitely check it out, and I'll leave a description to my full review, and I'll leave a link to the description. Man, I can't talk this morning. I will leave a link to the book and the review in the description below. Alright guys, thanks for listening. Cheers.